Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you all already know me. Anyways, in this video I'll be talking about, I've made this video before, but the thing I said in that last video, they enter this ear, they come out from the other ear. There's this popular saying that you cannot advise somebody that is in love. You cannot advise an APC supporter. You can also not advise someone who wants to move abroad at all costs. Anything you say doesn't make sense to them. All they know, they want to move abroad, they want to go get a better life. So anything you're advising them doesn't work, okay? So I've made this video about the possibility of paying your school fees by working 20 hours. Apparently, a lot of people, all the things I said in that video entered this ear and flew from this other ear. But by the way, before watching this particular one I'm making now, go and watch that last one. I'll try to link it in this video so it's easy for you to just click on the top here and then watch that. But watch that one because it gives you more context to what I'm about to say now. So if you're planning to come to the UK, maybe in September or in May, anytime this year, next year, whenever, as a student, and you've been thinking in your mind that, oh, I'll just pay deposit of 35, I'll come here and I'll raise 10,000 pounds, I'll come here and I'll raise 11,000. Some people are thinking of even raising as high as 15,000 pounds. Oh yeah, you know this sound on TikTok. Where Jimma, where Jebe, where Jitana, where Jana, oh Buchineke, neighbor, what Buchineke, you get back. You will cry. You will weep. Like, it's not even funny. You're going to cry. Your eye will see within your mouth, no fit talk. So if you are still thinking, if this is still your mentality, a lot of people have told you, no worry, go rugged and you go do and you go do. Before you actually pack that bag, pay that IHS fee, pay your visa fee, get the admission and start coming, maybe you should watch this video till the end and don't skip anything, because make it not be like, say, then tell you know here, or the thing there, you know here. He that has ears, let him hear. So first of all, have you heard about Amber? You want to come to the UK, you want to come to the UK, you don't hear about Amber? Have you ever had Amber students? No. But now let me tell you about it. So one of the most important things you should get out of the way, aside rushing to come, because everybody's desperate, most people are desperate to come, is to clear your accommodation. Have somewhere to stay. There is no under bridge. You don't get to see people allow you squat for a long time. Your friends or your relative, they could allow you stay for a few days, highest a few weeks, but after that you get to sort yourself. So it is best to actually sort yourself from home rather than come here and start running helter skelter. But now, do you know that for as low as £80 per week, you can get a proper student accommodation that suits your budget? Okay, now I'm not saying that, oh, because it's £80 the house doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Know you can get classic rooms with shared toilet, with shared bathrooms for as low as £80. And then if you want your privacy, you want your toilet, you want an ensuite apartment, you want something, more private, you can get for as low as £99 per week with your toilet in your room, and then of course a shared kitchen. Amber offers you different opportunities to get houses within your budget. And another interesting thing about Amber is that all of these facilities come bills included. I'm talking about gas, I'm talking about heating, I'm talking about Wi-Fi, electricity, every single thing. So when you're seeing £80 per week, just know that everything is included, so you don't have to pay extra aside that one. One very interesting thing about Amber is the fact that there is a no guarantor option. So if you know the UK, you know that as an immigrant or somebody coming from Africa, they always ask you for a guarantor, because in their mind they feel like, oh, what if this person escapes? What if this person runs? What if this person is unable to pay? But Amber has a no guarantor option for you. So a lot of people who are coming to the UK may not even have relatives in the UK, and even when they do have relatives in the UK, those people are not willing to stand for them as guarantors. So you can contact Amber to know how you can take advantage of this no guarantor offer, and trust me, it is the most seamless thing you will do. Aside raising money to pay your fees, aside raising money for your IHS fee, getting accommodation through Amber is one of the easiest things you can do for yourself. Okay, so how do you get started? The link is in my bio. Just click on the link in the description box. Yes, the link is in the description box. Click on that link and immediately get started. Don't worry if you are stuck, don't worry if you are confused, because there are multi-channels to make inquiries, multi-channels to ask questions. I'm talking about live chat, I'm talking about WhatsApp, I'm talking about email, phone call, however you want it. Amber got you. Okay, now accommodation, yes, fine, good, sorted. Should you still come? Yes, so let me just briefly add a few points to the other video. This video I'm making is like a part 2 of that one, because I'm not about to start repeating what I said in that other video. I'm just bringing out new points to convince you or to tell you why it may not be possible, that plan you have to come here to pay to work and pay the rest of your school fees. So before now, it used to be the remaining half of my school fees. But I've noticed that over time, I've had inquiries with people saying, oh, I want to pay a deposit of 3,500 and come back to pay, when I come here, I'll pay 10,000. I want to deposit 2,500 and come here and pay 15,000. I want to deposit 5,000 and come here and pay 11,000. Hello, on a straight line. You get bet, you will cry. You get. So before now, the argument used to be, oh, let me pay half from home and then come here to pay half. That was fair, because at least that's what I did. That was fair, considering the timing I came and everything is, it is fair. But 15,000, 10,000. Oh yeah, let's get started. What's the number one thing you should bear in mind before you make that decision? Things have changed. Jobs are harder to get. People who came to this country 3 years ago, 4 years ago, they literally came, kept their bags, and literally moved to work. I know someone that he came, like, I don't know, I think he was applying from Nigeria. So on the night he arrived, on the day he arrived, I think he arrived sometime around 11 or 2. By 9, he was going for a night shift. I'm not kidding. I kid you not, he was going for a night shift because these jobs were literally readily available and there was really nobody to... I don't want to sound somehow, like, I don't want to sound somehow, but there are certain jobs that it's just immigrants that can do it. You get. I don't want to go the way of, you know what I mean, you get. But there are certain jobs that a certain race would not do. So it's only a certain race that can do it. So if you have less people from that race, it means that those industries will actually be hunting for people from those races to do those jobs. I don't want to be specific here, you get. So if you come from that race, and obviously there's a shortage of staff, so when you come, it is easier to get jobs in those industries where people from your race usually work, if you know what I mean, you get. So imagine that kind of situation where there's shortage of staff and you just arrive. Maybe you've been applying from Nigeria, they ask you, oh, when are you arriving? You say, oh, I'll arrive on the 1st of September. By then, they don't already book you that shift that 1st. So immediately you're landing, you're literally just going there straight to start working. But like I said, things have changed. Even when I came, it had actually even still changed. But the thing is, every single day, things keep changing. And unfortunately, they are not changing for good. Yes, you see the economic turmoil we are facing in Nigeria and in many other countries in the world. Even the UK is facing it, even the US, even the most developed. I know people in Canada have stayed 1 year without, they've been job hunting. I'm not saying job hunting for corporate jobs or job hunting for, high paying jobs. I'm talking basic cleaning roles, care roles. What's the most basic job anybody can get? Like the easiest job, most accessible. Those kind of jobs are not even easy to come by, you get. So things have changed globally, not just in the UK. So before now, where you have a lot of jobs, now don't get me wrong, there are a lot of jobs in the UK, but the competition for those jobs are high. The same way you want those jobs, that's how thousands of other people want the same job. So yes, there's a job, but there are thousands of people around this same job. So who gets it? Mind you, the person who gets it is not even the most qualified. To be fair, you might even be more qualified than the person who gets it, but then time and chance happens, and then luck, of course, plays. You get. So things have changed. Considering that when you come to the UK, you might not get a job within the first 6 months or 3 months. If you are lucky, you can get a job within the first 3 months or 2 months. But then bear in mind, ask yourself, if you stay in this country for 6 months without a job, how would you pay your rent? How would you feed? How would you do your daily and weekly and monthly expenses? So if you're able to answer that question, then you now decide and ask yourself, that 15,000 will not pay itself. That 11,000 would not pay itself. So things have changed. Things are not so easy like they used to. So before you make that decision, make that move to start packing your bags, okay? Next thing is that employers are not hiring students. See, we don't talk about this enough. Like one of the perks, one of the things they sell to us as students, prospective international students from other countries, the fact that, oh, you can work 20 hours, you can work as a student, you can work and do your masters. It feels so sweet to say, it feels so easy, but they don't tell you the part where employers find it difficult to hire students. Ask around, most of the students most of the students I know work with agencies. It's difficult to see someone who has a permanent job. I mean, even if it's a 16-hour per week job, they're always skeptical about hiring students. Reason, students are not readily available. I mean, even though I have to work for 20 hours a week, there are some days in the week I'm not available because I have classes or I have other engagement. Of course, I'm a student and you can't deny me that right, you get. So most of the employers, they want someone who is at their beck and call. Hello, are you available for work? Yes, I'm available and I'm there, like right about now. But with students, there's always an excuse for a class. I have a test, I have exams, so nobody tells you the truth that as much as, yes, the UK says, oh, students can work 20 hours, how easy is it for those students to get those jobs? Okay, so I remember my friend, he works like with a factory. When he came I think a month before resumption, so he had already started working with the factory, and in the factory's mind, okay, this person works full-time. Somehow nobody was paid, because at the time they were desperate for staff, so they hired him. He was doing full-time and all, so school never resumed now, so he can work, full-time. So eventually school resumed, and he goes to tell them, oh, I can no longer work full-time, I'll now work 20 hours because of my school and all. They would have sacked him, to be fair. It's not like he was not productive. They would have sacked. The only reason they did not sack him is that he was really hardworking during that 1 month, and they're like, okay, no problem, since during break time you can actually work full-time, fine, we'll just leave you. But after him, it was hard for them to hire students, and the reason is that, oh, students are not static, see how you were working full-time and we actually needed you and all of that, then suddenly, and then in fact his friend, during that period, his friend came to the UK, and he had even told his friend, don't worry, when you come, I'll speak to my factory, they'll hire you, this and that, and it was from a good place, because in his mind he's like, oh, they know me, everybody's already familiar with me, so if I introduce this person to this factory, it will be easy. But guess what? Newsflash, when he told them, they said no, they don't want students. And I don't know, I don't blame the employers. Well, it depends on the kind of jobs anyways, but I don't blame most of those employers, because imagine having to hire people every single time. It takes a toll on them. They have to do recruitment process, they have to do screening, they have to do training, all of those it takes a toll on them. So when they say they don't want to hire students, I understand and I don't understand, because I've been at the receiving end of, oh, we don't hire students, even though it's a 16-hour job, you get. So nobody talks about the fact that, first of all, you have to basically work. Most people I know work with agencies. You have to basically work with agencies. And even with those agencies, the moment you cancel, they call you a couple of times for asking for shifts, and you always say, no, I'm not available, they will not call you again. You see that warehouse, they've called me a couple of times because I told them that I'm not coming. But that one is my own personal decision anyways. I'm not coming. I always give them excuse. They've stopped, like in the last 3-4 months, they've not called me, you get. So that's how it is. Once you are not readily available based on how much they want you, you get. So employers are not hiring as much. They're not hiring students as much, because there's this stigma around students, or students are not always available, And then, of course, they also think that you have a sponsor. I mean, if you're coming to do your master's, they think that you have your parents sending you money for feeding. So you don't even need that job as much as someone who is a graduate or someone who needs a full-time role, you get. So they'll pick someone who needs a full-time role over you. I mean, they know that the amount of school fees is even high. So for you to even pay university school fees, especially for a master, you have money now. That place you used to take to pay your school fees, I'm going to use that place to feed yourself and sustain yourself. This is me just thinking out loud. That's what I think they think, if that makes sense. The third reason why you may not meet up by paying your school fees 20 hours is that most of the jobs require a UK experience. You are just coming to the UK 1 week, you just came in 1 week ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks. Where are you going to get that UK experience? How long would you stay here? In fact, to get the UK experience, you have to actually work in the UK. So when you now apply to those jobs, they tell you, oh, we need a UK experience. How do you even start? You get. So I feel like this is a psychological thing they do on newcomers, you get. So they don't want to hire you, and maybe they want a more experience. They don't literally want to hire, maybe they don't want to hire you as a student, or they don't have a reason not to hire you. So just say, oh, we want a UK experience. You see that thing called UK experience? That is what you hear. Like, they will use you literally. They will use that statement to bait you literally when you come. Oh, you don't have a UK experience. I'm sorry, we need a UK experience. Now, let me even shock you. Most of the teaching agencies, most of the people who try to register with teaching agencies, they won't tell them the same thing. You need a teaching experience. Well, for everybody that have asked me, oh, they asked me for a UK experience, how do I go about? I tell them that it depends on how you convince them. Like, it also depends on how you especially with teaching. I don't know of any other field, but with the teaching, it depends on how you convince them. I mean, I'm not handling the classroom. I am not the main teacher. So asking me for a UK experience feels like I'm technically a teacher. I'm just assisting or acting as a cover supervisor. So why do you want me to have an experience as a teacher? And if I have an experience as a teacher in Nigeria, it should also suffice, because I mean, it's still teenagers you're dealing with, similar curriculum, similar modus operandi. It may be different there in some ways, but I mean, you get. So it's about how you also convince them. But just know that you see that UK experience thing, at least you will hear for the first 2 months, for the first 3 months. So imagine the time where they have to tell you, and then with the teaching industry, they now tell you to go and work as a volunteer for a few months and then come back to them to register and all. See, even the volunteering role as a teaching assistant or a cover supervisor, how many schools will take you? A lot of people, I know a couple of people who have tried to apply as a volunteer in schools. Even you want to offer your service for free, you don't even get that opportunity that easily. You get, so the free one is hard to come by. The paid one is hard to come by. And now ask yourself, the time you used to do all this volunteering to get the experience, to do 3 months have gone. So again, I ask you, will that £10,000 pay itself? Mind you, you are paying rent in between, or as you are waiting. Well, if you live with a relative, lucky you. But in between, you are paying rent. In between, you are feeding. In between, you're paying transport. In between, you are making expenses. Your phone said fees spoil within that period. You know how the devil works, okay? So a lot of things might even happen in between, and you're like, what's happening? Okay. So finally, another reason you should reconsider making that decision is the cost of living. See, when I came to this country, bus trip was, I think, £1.50, £1.50, and then I think a few days after I stayed, like in Leeds. So I'm talking of Leeds. I'm not talking of like a few days after I stayed there was like an announcement. You know how like they make posters and banners in the buses to say that there will be a fare increase, and then it moved from £1.5 to £2. Guess what? A few more months, it now moved from that £2 to £2.5. See, the thing I like about the UK compared to Nigeria is that prices do not go astronomically high, like within a twinkle of an eye. In Nigeria, you can wake up to a price of something at 200 and the next day it is 600. I'm not even kidding. 3 days or 4 days later, it goes to 1,200. Like, everybody moves on. No, it's not as if, oh, it has gone to 1,2 at some point. It comes at it goes to 1,2 and it might stay there forever. In fact, it keeps going up. You get, but with the UK, you see something for £1.50. You go there 3 days later, it's £1.75. You get. Then another item for £2.20, you go back again, it's £2.40 or £2.35. You get, the prices don't go up astronomically like it does in Nigeria. But then if you check that 20 cent here, 20 pence here, 50 pence here, 30 pence here, 25 pence. If you sum it together, you realize that before now, I could comfortably do my weekly grocery shopping at Aldi for like, if I buy like the basic things I buy, £20, £18. I'm not talking about me, you know, there are some weeks where you have to buy extra things. I'm talking about the basic things. I could do £20 in a week as a student, okay? But you're not looking like play. £20 is now entry £28, and it's not. So if you've been spending like £30, you're now spending almost like, let's say, 45 or 40. You don't, like I said, you don't even notice the hike because it comes little by little. £20 here, £10 here. So the price, aside that, then also accommodation prices have also gone up. Okay, so people who moved into this country 5 years ago, if they tell you the amount they paid in rent, you say it's a lie. I do not believe you. Like, it is not even funny. You would argue that they are kidding, they are lying. So the cost of living is a very what's the word now? It's a very important and a serious factor to consider before making that decision. Because before now, you could say, oh, I would use £500 to sort my bills, to sort my rent, to sort my accommodation, to sort everything, and then suddenly £500 doesn't go anywhere anymore, and you're like, what's happening? You get. So if you earn, let's say, £1,500, let's say on a good day you got a job 20 hours and you earn around £1,500, which will, of course, what am I saying? You earn £1,000, £1,000. Let's make it fair. I've done the calculation in the other video, so you can check it. £1,200, which is not even up to, but plus or minus. Let's just say God has been gracious. You earn way above minimum wage. There are people who earn around £14 here, £14 per hour. Like the teaching agencies now these days, they're even increasing their pay. You get. So if you do £14 an hour, let's say you earn around 1-2, you get. So if the cost of living is minimal and is low, it is really average, you can pay your rent. Of course, you will live in a shared apartment, but you don't get money. You get. So you can pay your rent. You can pay your rent, feed, pay rent, feed, transport, do all expenses. Let's say 600. if you are lucky, that's if you are very prudent with money, 600. So the rest of the money you can use to pay your school fees. Like the rest of it, after taking out 600 from 1 2, the remaining 600 every month. I don't know how far that can even go. If you do 600 every month for 10 months, it's around 6,000. That's still small. So let's assume that there's summer break in between, or there's break in between where you can extend your work hours. You get, so the cost of living now is so high that you cannot survive on 600 pounds a month. You get, because the rents have increased, food prices have increased, transportation have everything has increased. You will now spend more than half of what you earn for your expenses. So how much is now left to pay? Yeah, you see. So this is my 2 cents. As much as you are desperate to come, it is sweet in the ear, it is fun. It's vibe and inshallah, oh, it's vibe and what? Even the vibe, sometimes they even see vibe to vibe. The one way, see that time when we go see someone will come wear winter jacket, stand for snow, it's so now how many people where they see they post for camera? I cannot remember the last time even when I dress up and snap me say what happen. You get, so otu o si atọ n'ọnụ owo abi how Igbo people dey talk otu o si atọ na ntị abi owo otu as e dey sweet for mouth abi as e dey sweet for ear, no be so e dey sweet for mouth though. You get, so that's what I say I should tell you people, and also remind you that if you've not subscribed to my channel, you are wrong. You are wrong. You are very wrong. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, leave a comment, engage with me so I can engage with you back. And of course, if you're planning to come here and you're owing 10,000, stay back in Nigeria, go and eat your mother's food, stay there in peace, because they know they tell person. Anyways, thank you so much for coming to my video or coming to my TED Talk, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Please, I beg you, subscribe to my channel. I beg you in the name of God, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.